Welcome back to the Triple H podcast here, obviously with the Rush Hour with Gus, Jude and Wendell, and Petero Civoniceva is our guest today. Petero, thanks for joining us, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely fantastic. So we'll start the ball rolling with a hero. Someone who has such a long career as you, such a successful career. It might be hard to name it just one, but have you got someone who just absolutely stands out?
Oh, geez, where do you start? But look, I'm sitting next to him. I'm sitting next to the big Dell. I came into the Broncos as a young lad, and the way Wendell looked after a lot of us young blokes, he always took time to make sure, check up on us, look out for us, and he was a real hero to us. You know, there was a group of young Broncos that was coming through, and I remember the time he'd always take to spend with us. You know, just check in, just make sure that we're okay. So they're the sorts of things that, you know, when you walk into the Broncos, team room, you remember these legends, you know, and that'll always have an effect on me, you know, and he's always someone that I always look up to.
How does that make you feel, Del?
Oh, no, it's quite humbling because, mate, that sort of stuff happened because of guys like Steve Renoff, Alan Langer,
So
Kevin
you were taught that way, is that what you're saying?
It was that ripple effect, Lazo, and that. And, mate, you know, I said this to you, like, I can be hard work sometimes, but these
Oh, no, we've only worked
Never.
for 3.5 years together. Well, we don't know what you're talking
But
about.
these young blokes were always very respectful. I remember when Petero first came in and we knew who these guys were, him and Darren Locker and that. Chris Walker was hard work, you know, Sean Berrigan. but we knew, but we put things in place, but also they carry the culture, you know, forward. And this guy here, I always said this, mate, when we were doing like, defence and contact and that, like, this bloke's granite. Like, I think his dad, can I ask, your dad, what's he, 6'9", 6'8"?
Oh, no, not that big.
But big Pet Senior.
Yeah, he'd be he'd probably at 6'6", I reckon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after a grand final one time, we're at the back of City Rose having a drink, and Petro's such
Is he
a
built
humble...
like you as well?
Oh, yeah, oh, mate.
Bigger. He's a big man. Yeah.
Okay.
Mate, Gus,
I was a well-behaved kid.
yeah, Gus, he's massive. Anyway, I said, mate, he goes, hey, Sailor, call me Sailor. I said, hey, Pet Senior, how you going? And then no one would tell him what to do, mate. Absolute gentleman. But, mate, he was wonderful for our squad, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was great. And, yeah, you know, Wendell plays it down. But, yeah, all those senior boys and as I said, Big Dell, you know, what he used to do for us boys, it meant the world to us. And that gave us the foundations to have the success that we did at the club.
That's really
Petero,
beautiful.
how important is it as a young player when you step into an environment like an NRL club and actually find your feet early and have those mentors around you?
Oh, it's huge because you're so nervous, you know. You dream of this moment, and then all of a sudden, you know, you get that call up and you enter in the dressing room, and it's that inner sanctum. And often you're thinking about, geez, how do I earn the respect of these senior guys? And the only way you can earn respect is what you do on the field. You know, train hard. And these boys trained hard. I mean, there was blood spilled on the paddock. You know, and it was just about, you know, doing your bit to ensure that they trust you when it comes to walking across that white line 80 minutes, and they know that you've got their back.
Heroes, you know, I just love that, the fact you've spoken about Del, and you're very humble at the moment because you love this man. Like, we've been waiting for him to come in today, and you're like,
I was
just
excited.
excited.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen all the time. That's beautiful. Thank you,
Thank you,
boys,
mate.
for sharing that with us. What about a hardship before we get to the highlight? Such a long career, as I said, you must have had some blows. I imagine the injury perhaps before the 2000 grand final might be something around that, but what's your hardship?
Yeah, that hurt. That one, you know, in terms of footy, I think, you know, those injuries that exclude you from the squad, you know, and often, you know, when you're an injured player, you know, you're sort of not a part of the group. You don't feel a part of the group. Well, although the boys try to make you feel a part, you're training by yourself. Often you're training at times when you don't see any of the players. So, yeah, probably for me, 99, I broke my arm against the Warriors. I think it might have been Monty Beetham tried to headbutt my arm, or maybe I tried to give him just a little caress across the forehead with my forearm. And I snapped my forearm, and so that was me done. So after 98, the highs of being a grand final winner, 98, and all of a sudden, you're not part of that squad anymore. So 99 was tough. And then here I am, 2000. My name gets sort of bandied around as a possible state of origin rep. Then again, the boys went off to Origin camp. I end up playing against the Melbourne Storm, and I broke my arm. I snapped it again. But that was one of those things where I was so filthy that I ended up finishing the game. I remember the call from Wayne was like, "What's wrong with Petero?" And he said, "Oh, he's got a busted arm." And the doctor on the sideline said, "Mate, it's broken." And then Wayne said, "All right, if you want to go back on, Petero, you give me 10 push-ups now." So I ended up pushing out the 10, and it was a very painful 10. But because I knew my season was done, I knew I was finished, you know. So I remember getting in the sheds and pretty filthy. But that period, that whole year sort of away from the game, sort of, you start to question, have I got what it takes to make it? But thankfully, 2001, I got back in there, and that was an amazing year. We end up debuting for Queensland in the State of Origin series.
Petero, what did that sort of experience teach you around your resilience and I guess your own mental toughness?
Oh, just that how important a support network is around you, and it stands like that for life. You need good people around you, people that you can trust, and people that will be honest with you and tell you how it is. And at that time, I was in the heights of winning a grand final, and it's amazing the amount of people that you get in terms of patting you on the back, telling you how good you are. But then when things get tough, it's amazing how people just jump off that bandwagon, and all of a sudden, you're by yourself. So what I did have was thankfully some good family and good mates, childhood mates that stood through you. So good lesson to learn is that it's how important it is just to have that good network of good people in and around you.
Man, I know you're a proud Fijian man and obviously proud Aussie, but just to see the way that rugby league and rugby union going, obviously, Fiji beat the Wallabies in the World Cup, and I know your dad's got that bit of a background too, but it must make you proud to see how far it's come. The Fiji and Drua, obviously you're involved with the Fiji.
Silktails?
Yeah, Silktails. You've been involved with them since you played for Fiji, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thanks, Del. It was always one of those things where I just wanted to sort of try and give back to the local players, and that 2013 World Cup, we had quite a number of us that played in the NRL, but then for the local boys, they just didn't have anything to sort of turn to. So we wanted to try and start up a team over there and get them into an Australian competition. So our Silktails club, we're based in Fiji, and we fly into Sydney, and we play in the Ron Massey Cup here in Sydney. So it's really exciting to see some of these young guys, go from a village situation and all of a sudden, in the eyes of the NRL, the New South Wales Cup side. So we've had some really good stories. Some of these boys are changing their lives through sport, and that's a great thing about what our game can do.
One of the great days I can ever remember with my son, we were at a resort in Fiji, and one of the waiters, an absolute champion bloke, he'd always play touch footy with the kids in the afternoon. And he came up one day, we're having breakfast and stuff, and Jack had a brand new ball. And he was tossing with him in the restaurant, and the boss came over and said, hey, don't do that here, blah, blah, blah. And then we got chatting to him, and he was going to play that afternoon. Yeah. So he said, Dad, can we go and watch him? So no worries at all. So we went and watched him. Jack had this ball, and at halftime he's kicking the ball and stuff, and all the Fijian kids were running around. They were using a 2-litre bottle of Coke as a ball.
That's it. Wow. That's it.
At the end of it's the proudest moment of my life as a father. At the end of the half, they went on again. At the end of the game, can I play with the kids again? Of course, no problem. At the end of that, Jack gave the ball to those kids.
That's awesome.
Unreal, eh?
Yeah. And I said, what'd you do that for? He said, you love that ball. He said, oh, it's okay. They don't have a ball.
Yeah.
But the love of the sport and the love of those kids
it's innate, isn't it?
Any sport is quite incredible. One of the great afternoons.
Yeah, it's extremely humbling. I think, we get a chance. We've been lucky. Myself, I guess guys like Lottie, our parents moved to Australia, for a better way of life. And then now, I guess for myself, there's a great opportunity to sort of give back. And it's been awesome to see these young fellas do really well.
Petero, what about a highlight across an incredible career that you've spanned across, the NRL and into Origin representation as well? Oh,
look, I think just making an A-grade debut, I think, you dream about it as kids, and yourself, Jude, I mean, you just those thoughts of being a kid back in the backyard there, kicking the footy around and thinking, one day I'd love to get there. And so for me, that first time, walking the dressing rooms at ANZ Stadium in '98, and Big Dell's in his budgies, just strutting around,
shirt off,
oiled up,
shirt off,
gold glistening, just in the mirror. Alfie throwing up in the garbage bin. And we just had such a great mix. It was an amazing thing to be a part of. You amongst your heroes, and then all of a sudden that bell rings and you're running out, and this is it. This is what you dreamt of. So everything else from that has been a bonus. Getting to play Origin, getting to play for Australia, all those things are great. But I think just that first moment when you cross that white line and you just think, this is it. I've done it.
How many tickets did you get for that first game, Petero?
Yeah, there was about 30,000. It was half of Fiji. Came across for it. No, it was great, mate. But just you'll never forget those moments. And I think, one of those moments you cherish for the rest of your life.
Petero Civoniceva, the 3H's podcast, have never had such a beautiful man, mate. We appreciate it so much, and we know how much you do for everyone that you come across. So to enjoy a bit of time with you this afternoon, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Rush Hour with Gus, Jude and Wendell. Let's do this.
Two strong hearts
We stick together like the honey and the bee. You and me.
We've got 2 strong hearts.
Okay.
This is how it works. A topic is thrown out by our hostess with the mostest, Mr. Jude Bolton, and the 2 contestants have to say the same answer at exactly the same time. Over to you, Jude. We have
Gussie.
Petero Civoniceva and Wendell Sailor today.
I think this could be one of our record-breaking moments.
This could be a
because these two
0.
played so-
I'm thinking 0. Is that?
Oh, you reckon that?
Sorry, guys. We got 2 chocolate hearts here.
Okay, I'm going to throw the category out. You've got to get the same answer.
Yeah.
A type of seafood in 3, 2, 1.
Fish.
Prawns.
Fish, prawn.
Fish and prawns.
Hang on, I've got to look at you.
No, that's it. That
Look
doesn't
him,
matter.
look him in the
Look in
eye.
his eye.
This is like a first date.
I thought about prawns. I love prawns.
All right, here we go. Name a football stadium in 3, 2, 1.
Suncorp. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I know.
I like
See
that.
that way the synergy was there,
I
brother.
thought you might have gone Lang Park.
No,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's good. This is
Yeah.
good.
All right. A vegetable starting with P in 3, 2, 1.
P. Yes.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Only because,
I'll give you
I respect you so much, Petro.
Yeah. It's
And
true.
I reckon that was 50-50 at best. Okay.
Gus loves you.
All right.
I
Thanks,
do.
Gus, thanks.
A brand of soft drink in 3, 2, 1.
Coke. Yeah.
This is good. Okay, this is for. We're not mucking around here. This is for the world record.
Oh,
No one's got 4 out of 5.
There you go.
Let's go. Yeah, you have one time.
2 chocolate hearts.
Yeah. 2. I got
All
you,
right,
brother.
here we go.
Oh, the pressure.
Past or present, name a Fijian rugby league player in 3, 2, 1.
No one in Drugu. Yeah.
Oh, they got it! They've got the world record! They've got the world record! Darren's now attacking Petro! Oh, he's got his shirt off and everything!
Oh, my God.
Petro Civoniceva, Wendell Sailor, the world record is yours in 2 strong hearts.
Good on you, brother.
Congratulations, you bloody legends.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow.